All right, so 11 gauge steel, low enough to do hip thrusts, gliding on linear bearings, and under $1,000. Well, could this Deltech Fitness Smith machine be right for you guys in your home gym? Let's see and find out. Hope you guys enjoy. All right, guys, so in today's video, we're gonna cover this Smith machine from Deltech Fitness. If you guys do not know Deltech Fitness, they're based in Louisville, Kentucky. They've been around for over 20 years, a family-owned business that creates high-quality equipment at an affordable price for the home gym goer, which is, in the world we live in today, it's unheard of to get quality pieces of equipment that are more affordable because just prices, everything is insane. And a brand like this, I've been really excited to work with this year because of the quality they bring out and the passion they bring to their equipment. So if you guys did not check out my leg extension, leg curl video for under 300 bucks, which I personally thought it was a steal for that price, you guys should check that out. I did that about a month ago, and it'll be in the description if you guys are interested in that. So today we're gonna cover, again, yet another, your boy loves his Smith machines. So again, why is a Smith machine beneficial to the home gym consumer out there? Essentially, it's a self-spotting system, which is great for beginners, people who are recovering from injuries, and people who just want a safe and secure lift at home with a design path. And I want to just talk about the basics of something like this. Is first of all, the assembly and how many boxes it came in. So first of all, this came in 4 boxes, and the assembly is very simple to figure out because they have all of their videos on their website. You go to their website, you find the product, they have video to walk you through it. Again, an idiot like me loves to see videos to help him figure out pieces of equipment. So that is a win. And obviously for this, I had some kids help me out and putting this together, and they personally really enjoyed the instructions because it made it a lot easier for them because they're learning how to put stuff together, so that was very beneficial to them. And talking about warranty, because I know that's important before diving into something like this. And with these guys, they are standing behind their products over there at Deltech Fitness. So if you get this out of the box and there's issues with the machine before even using it, you don't have to worry about them not sending you another part because you give them a call, you go through their website, they will hook you up. Unless you're beating the crap out of this thing with the hammer, they got you covered for a lifetime with a machine like this that you would buy. Now, they have a 1-year warranty on other items. I'm gonna say it was like cables and upholsteries. I think when you're buying products in today's world with the economy, everything's crazy. You wanna make sure you're backed with a good warranty, and you don't wanna get something that's a nightmare to put together and it stresses you out. Because you're really, honestly, anyone out there building a home gym, you're really just excited just to get started working on home. So I wanna cover some features of this product and then talk about the testing of it and then give you my pros and cons, and then we'll go from there. Let's first talk about the features of this Smith machine. The first thing I want to note is the dimensions, which we'll plug the dimensions of this right here for you guys. Now think about the length of a Smith machine with the bar. It's well over 80 inches and well over 80 inches in height. Depth wise, if you're not looking at the attachments, which we'll cover later, it doesn't take up a ton of depth. Just lengthwise, you're working with a little bit more space because, again, you have the Smith bar. Now, what I really love about this is, first of all, the price, $8.99. And it's 11 gauge steel. Now, I even tested it with my fancy tool. Your boy is so fancy. Went on Amazon. He's now an engineer. I was able to take off an end cap, and then I use the tool, and it's thick gauge steel. So for under $1,000, you're getting an 11 gauge steel Smith machine. Dude, come on. That's a win. 11 gauge steel is music to all the community out there in the home gym, and Deltech Fitness is coming in hot with that, baby. Now, what's other features that are really the most important with the Smith machine is this does glide on linear bearings. And it is smooth as all heck, man. Like we said, get out that butter, baby, because this baby, is buttery smooth. And that makes a big difference because you don't want to get a Smith machine that just feels like it's grinding and junk. So the bar has 11 different settings that you can hook this on. so that you can have the best range of motion possible when you're doing your full body movements, which again, a Smith machine is designed for that. You want to be able to get full body lifts in your home gym. And some other features as well with the Smith machine is you have your safety stops, which obviously you go down to your lowest setting. The lowest setting, you're able to do hip thrusts, which is a massive win because a lot of Smith machines don't go low enough. And I think hip thrusts are one of the best movements to work your posterior chain. Your boy definitely needs to work on that booty because, man, oh man, I can barely do a plate and it's difficult. So I think that's very important that you're able to go low enough as a guy who, again, is 6 foot, is able to hop on a bench and be able to do that. Some other features as well of this Smith machine, obviously you got your springs here. So if you're dropping this, you have safety. If you're even gonna be doing a couple plates or even more. They say the weight capacity of the Smith bar is 700 pounds, which is plenty. You know, I was benching, trying to do as much as I can. Listen, I'm not doing 3-4 plates on this thing. It's never gonna happen. No one's getting a Smith machine to do that. But you just know that you're getting something that is built and is not going to just tear down on you after doing certain Olympic lifts for maybe even a few months, which I think is very important. What I like also about the Smith machine is that they have it at 90 degrees, so you're able to do your lifts inside or even outside of the Smith machine. Why is that important? Because it could depend on space. You know, for me, like if I wanted to do hip thrusts, if I wanted to try to get a bench and line it up here and do it this way, it's just awkward and it's hard to get that in here. So obviously it's nice that I can put the bench out here and do hip thrusts. If you wanted to do bench sitting here going this way or sitting here going that way, you're able to do both because you're able to lock it out and whatever's easier for you, which I think is nice depending on the space you have in your home gym. And then moving around this, guys, what I really like is you have 2 sets of weight horns on both sides. It's not plastic, it's steel, and you're able to obviously put your weight on the side so that you're not, you can just store it out of the way. It's easily accessible to take it off, put it on the bar when you're doing your main Olympic lifts. And then up here, we have is your pull-up bar, which your pull-up bar has knurl here, here, and one thing I want to mention about the pull-up bar and the Smith bar is you can see that they put the different spots that you can line up your hands for doing your different angles of your different lifts on the Smith bar or lining it up for doing your different pull-ups. So that's a nice added feature if you're wanting to make sure you want to line up correctly for a bench or line up correctly for a squat. And then there's a couple other features to mention too with the Smith bar is the pegs are 6 inches apart with, again, 11 different settings. And then both sides glide on 2 different sets of linear bearings for that smooth and consistent, like we said, baby, buttery smooth deal, baby. And then the guide rods are solid. They're not hollow tubes, which are some Smith machines I've reviewed in the past are just, it's not very thick, solid guide rod. And that's why it feels like it's gonna like concave in and it oscillates so much back and forth where you can see that with something like this, you're not having that oscillation back and forth. Now the guide rods do flex a little bit, but again, they use way more high quality materials. You know, the flex is not going to make the machine concave in and cause, destruction to your machine. Don't worry about that. It is easily, compared to the budget Smith machines, way better quality and for an affordable price, which I think is a win. And then the last thing I want to mention too, before we talk about the testing and how it feels, is they only offer the white powder coat finish right now. We've had chats, me and Craig, the CEO, have had chats about how they're going to incorporate color schemes into their pieces of equipment down the line, because I know a lot of people nowadays love their different colors to match their gym, because us in the home gym love our aesthetic, bougie lifestyle, getting those gains at home, baby. All right, so talking about testing and using this pieces of equipment from Deltech Fitness. So with the Smith machine, you're mainly doing is your Olympic lifts, starting with chest. Mainly I've been using this just for flat chest press, and range of motion has been excellent for me. I'm able to get the bar to my chest and extend all the way up because there's 11 different settings, which more settings on the Smith machine, the better. And the 6 inches apart has not been an issue for me, who I am 6 foot and decently long arms. I'm able to get full range of motion when I'm doing a bench. Same with doing a squat, which again, you can bench on the outside or inside, or squat on the inside or outside, depending on how you want to lock out the machine. The 2 main Olympic lifts, the range of motion, and it's a smooth, consistent feel, buttery smooth with that linear bearings that this has to offer. And then you can also do, again, you got your hip thrust, which can go low enough to the ground, which is a win with something like this. So when we're talking about movements, again, hip thrust, I'm able to get, my butt is pretty close to the ground. There's a little bit left. So it's not like other Smith machines where it's tap and go, but I'm able to get pretty far to the ground, and then I'm able to squeeze at the very top, which is, I mean, it's still pretty good. You know, it's the range of motion isn't like, you know, better than like the commercial grade Smith machine I did that was over $2,500 for $800. I was able to get pretty decently low to the ground for 6 foot and then lock at the top, which I think, you know, is a win for something like this. And you also can do rows. You know, if you're wanting to do more back, you could also do, I did a 1-arm row with my app I was using. I was like, this actually feels pretty good, dude. And then just some other things you can do too is you can get up on this pull bar and you can do pull-ups. You can get on this pull-up bar, you can do knee raises for abs. And then if you wanted to do more lifts on this bar, you could do, my God, I'm showing this for the video because I hate it so much, is lunges or Bulgarian split squats, which absolutely are the worst thing on the planet, but we know those are one of the best things to build your legs. It's just mercy. They're brutal. So pretty much what I'm trying to say is you get a full body lift with just using this Smith machine, which again, has good range of motion. Again, always good to know I am 6 foot, 206 pounds. Your boy's losing a little bit of weight. Shout out to cardio. And I haven't had any issues with that. Now let's break down the pros and cons. So let's just start off with the cons. You know, we'll spice things up. Really, when it comes to a con of this rack, the Smith machine from Deltech Fitness, is I do wish the pull-up bar had more knurl across the whole bar, because if I wanted to go super wide, there's no knurl here. So I feel like, you know, in a gym like mine, when it's starting to get really hot, you know, could get a little bit of humidity and it could slip off. So it'd be nice to have a little bit more knurl across here. Obviously, incorporating different color coding, it's not really a con for me. I think it's just people out there really like the options. I think that's important. That's like the 2 main things that I noticed, because when I think of a Smith machine, if you're getting a standalone Smith machine, you know, something like this, I've done extremely budget, half the price of this, and it was complete junk. It was junk. You would hook it into the uprights, and it oscillated so freaking much when you're doing just barely any weight. This thing guides with freaking just all around smoothness, because they build it at a good, high quality, again, at a good price. But again, a con is just the fact that, you know, I guess a lot of people really aren't always looking for just a Smith machine to add to their gym. They like the all-in-one racks. But this is something I want to dive into now, you know, going into the pros, is you can add attachments to something like this. So this is, I didn't cover this because I'm just talking about the Smith machine. You're able to, though, add attachments. You can get like a 200-pound stack added to this to put into your system. You can get a pec deck. You can also add some more plates to it. So you can add more to your system to build upon it, which I think is huge, because it's very hard for a lot of people to just want to get just a Smith machine, a standalone Smith machine, and nothing else. In the day and age of the home gym, we like adding things to our racks to make it more versatile. So you're able to do that with something like this, which we'll cover again soon. But that's really, honestly, a huge pro of something like this. I also just think the price point of under $1,000, and I also just think that it's just, if you feel very safe and secure using something like this, and you just know they back their products with lifetime warranties if anything happens to it with the construction of it. And I think supporting a small business is huge, especially someone like Deltech that's been around for a very long time. And they've been around for a long time because they're a trusted brand. Brands stay around a long time because they're trusted and have good customer service, and they're giving products that are quality to the consumer. So in my opinion, if you're looking for a Smith machine and you know that you're able to upgrade it and add some more attachments to it, I personally recommend this for anyone out there in the home gym. And you guys will have to let me know in the comments what you think of this piece from Deltech Fitness. We have a lot more products to review from them this year and in their catalog. So check out Deltech Fitness. They have so many products on their page, and I'm really excited to cover more of this year to see if it'd be a right fit for you guys in your home gym. So again, let me know in the comments what you think. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon on Luke's Garage Gym with more home gym reviews. This is Luke from Luke's Garage Gym. See you guys later.